Bill DeWeese with LongStrangeJourney. Welcome back to the channel. It is the Saturday before Memorial Day, and we are heading out of Bayport. Got my good friend Eric Melke on board. We fish together a lot, but more importantly, we're dive buddies. So today we're going to do some Freedive spearfishing. First time this season. Checked everything out. A little crowded here to start the launch. Not too bad. All right, we're out here at the reef, and I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of underwater footage, but I'll show you some examples of this. We're probably in 17 to 20 feet of water, so the snapper here aren't very big, but you can find snapper in that 14 to 17 inch range, and we found some today that were 14 to 15 inches, which is really nice. And the trick here was to get set up, but to what you will see on your sounder, that is the relief structure, is a lot of these culverts. And those culverts are interesting because they're easy to find on side scan, they're easy to find on down scan, but they tend to hold some of the fish that you're not particularly interested in. Sometimes they will hold sheep's head, but not this time of year. So we're cruising along. We're looking actually for the concrete plates. Those actually form a natural ledge. So that's actually what we're looking for here in the water. And we come along some of that stuff. Along the way, we see a couple of Goliath grouper and some really nice gag grouper. Unfortunately, those gag grouper are out of season. There was at least 3 gags that I saw today that were shootable. I think a 4th one would have been shootable had I gotten closer to it. There's a nice one right there that's probably over 24, maybe under 26, but there's a second one up here too. So the Goliath, you'll see them come back into the scene here in a bit after I shoot the first fish. You want to be really careful with these Goliath. I actually worry more about them than I do the sharks. But here's a couple, 2 nice gag grouper. Man, they look good. These plates. So again, we're leaving the culverts and we've isolated this down to the plates. You'll start to see the snapper. The plates allow the fish, as these concrete plates fall, they land haphazardly, and they will allow the fish to fan out ledge, artificial ledge. You can see them coming in and out. A couple of really nice snapper in there. I get one of these here that's 14 inches. Which is, again, for this area and this time of year, it's a really good snapper. So I'm coming down pretty far away, become one with the reef, lay flat, and then be a turtle, not a shark, and let them get comfortable with you, and they come back out, and we get a nice snapper here. Now, as we come up, you'll see the grouper. As we come up, you'll see the Goliath grouper sort of like suddenly they go from being kind of passive, incurious, to being a little bit more curious about what's going on. And so the first thing you want to do is get this fish close to you. Get it, stop it from thrashing, but get it really close to you. This fish was pretty much spined, so it wasn't really moving, but there's 2 nice Goliath grouper trying to come and figure out, is it worth taking it away from me? And keep it close, keep it quiet, keep it calm, and keep it subdued so that they leave you alone. There's a little replay. So again, these snapper aren't huge. This is a particularly ordinary snapper for the area, but it's harder to get through to these with a shrimp or a cut bait, because you got to go through the gauntlet of the grunt and the other smaller snapper for this time of year specifically. So this is a great opportunity to come out here and pick off some of these larger ones and sort of thin the herd and get some good chunker size snapper. So after putting that one into stern well for safekeeping, I headed over to check on Eric, my dive buddy. Every now and then, I'm always cautious of understanding where he is, and he the same for me. This is shallow water, so there's a lot of horizontal movement, so you're not just staring over your dive buddy like you might be doing in much deeper water, but we're constantly in eye contact. When I went over to him to just check in on him, I noticed his bands were slack, which usually means he's got a fish, or he's taken a shot at least. And sure enough, here he is cleaning up a nice fish that he's got. He'll do the brain and the bleed and the gutting of the fish so that it's ready to go right into the ice slurry. And so he's messing. Really cool shot there with all those minnows jumping across the surface. I didn't see that originally. So lots of diverse structure here underwater, and we get to take advantage of all of it. These fish move around, especially as you start shooting them. They will get scarce from where they were, but you just got to kind of move around until you find out where they are, and specifically find out where the bigger ones are. They're going to be finding a place that they can hole up. They didn't get big by being dumb, so they're looking for places that they can hang out and hide out and feed, but still be able to retreat to a nice hole. So we managed to do I got 3 really nice 14 to 15 inch snapper, which is perfect for the morning. We had no wind, so it was super hot, so it was a great day to be down inside the water. And Eric got a couple for himself as well, so it worked out nicely. And just to keep YouTube real, I'm going to show you how to not shoot a snapper. And this is an example of my lack of discipline. This is the first dive of the new year. I haven't dove in probably 9 months. And so I found the fish. They were hanging out again by one of these plates. This was a new plate system, actually, concrete plate system that we found. We fished a few of them, but not this one. And the current is really starting to move heavily. So I move up current, and I've spotted my location. Was going to hide behind one of those culverts until they chill out a bit. So when I go down to the bottom here over the grass, the current is just pushing me a little too fast. But I needed to get down there, become one with the reef, and I don't really do that. I see a nice fat snapper, so I try to take an aerial shot, and that's just dumb. You absolutely cannot do that with these particular snapper. Again, they didn't get big by being dumb.
Dagnabbit. I got too trigger happy.
So, exactly. I got too trigger happy. So one more of the many cool things about freediving and spearfishing is after each dive, you have a 4 to 6 minute recovery breath. And normally, what divers do is they spend that time pre-processing their fish. So you brain it, you bleed it, you gill it, you gut it in that time. And when you get home, it's no different than separating a chicken that you bought at Publix. So in this case, everything is good. Nothing goes into the drink. So what we're going to do here is take the carcasses and we're going to make a stock that will be a sauce for over top of some ramen noodles. And then the rest of these fillets, look at that belly meat. That's going to be awesome. So that'll be a nice sauce. That'll start with a stock. Nothing goes to waste. These are the fillets. They will go on the grill. And then we'll put them on a bed of noodles and cover them with the sauce. Exciting times.